Hey everybody, RichGongaReplays reporting in, bringing you some Stacraft 2 1v1 action. The Shattered Temple, left side we have Tribute spawning as the red Protoss. Right side, MrGoomba spawning as the blue Protoss. We will have a classic red versus blue battle. The Shattered Temple. Do have a couple of gold patches that are kind of hard to expand, as your opponent can come from the left or right or back, or even if they throw a pylon down here, that's probably not something you want to happen. Anyway, we're not at that point yet. We do have a pylon going down for MrGoomba as well as Tribute. Pretty regular positions for both players. Don't see any kind of crazy play happening out of this. We do have Tribute's probe, who's going to be scouting around. Looks like he will be scouting incorrectly at first, as he does want to check the closest by air. Be a good idea to check in there first. He does see there's nothing in there. Has a rally point already set to the next base. MrGoomba, gateway going down for him. This probe's kind of hanging out. He's the guardian. He's a gatekeeper. Nobody comes in on his watch. Gateway going down for Tribute as well. Looks like pretty much the same timing on the two of them. This probe is going to get in here and get tased by MrGoomba, but that tase barely tapped his shields, and they will regenerate without a problem. We do have a gas going down for Tribute, possibly setting up for a 4-gate. Does look like that kind of timing as it is right now. He is going to throw down another pylon right outside there, give him some vision over the side. We have two probes playing tag over here. Not the kind of tag that I would advise playing for anybody, as he is getting quite hurt with that taser. Tribute is going to pull that probe around, and this cyber core going to block him. Blocking his way. We're down to 5 shields for this probe. He does not want to be tased anymore. He is running for his life in the game of the most epic tag ever. Do have a cybernetics core going down for Tribute. For everything I can see, it looks like he's going to 4-gate. He is throwing down a second gateway. It is a little bit early for a 4-gate. We have 2 gases going down for MrGoomba. And this probe has regenerated all of his shields, and he is just going in circles. He thinks this is the funniest thing on earth. MrGoomba is still blocking that exit. That's why he's going around in circles. But he is getting all this scouting information. He is going to see that there are 2 gases down for MrGoomba. Pylon going down. He is going to get vision all across his main here. He needs to watch out for this Artosis pylon. However, you don't want to leave that like that. Not a good position to be in. We do have a Zealot out now who's going to chase this probe out of here. He is tired of getting tased. He says that does kind of hurt after a while. I do not appreciate it. I'm Union. I'm not paid enough for this. Tribute, 2 stalkers coming out to complement the one he already does have. We have a stalker on the way from MrGoomba as well. Tribute throwing down a pylon right at the front of his main. Walking out with 2 stalkers. Third one almost completed with his rally point set to the first. Probably going to go check out, see what's going on down here. We do have the stalker out for MrGoomba as he's hiding behind the cybernetics. He's playing hide and go seek with the Zealot, who easily found him as probe just pushed him back into him. We have robotics down for MrGoomba. This probe, is he going to make it? Is he going to make it and get his scouting information? He's not. He gets intercepted. These 3 stalkers saying not today. But he has done his purpose, as he has warned MrGoomba of the imminent attack. This stalker down to 24 shields. This Zealot gonna block their way into the main. They need to start focusing this stalker, which is exactly what they do. This stalker has lost all of his shields, and he's starting to be whittled down. We do have a sentry out from MrGoomba, throwing down the force field exactly where it needs to be. That is perfect. We have 2 more stalkers warping in for Tribute. We have an Immortal on the way from MrGoomba, and the Immortal's just about to complete. And this is going to be no issue for him to deal with. This stalker almost losing his life. He needs to back out of that completely and go all the way home. These two stalkers heard about the party and said, no thank you. I think we're going to go home in this instance. We do have a robotics for Tribute to answer the one he is facing. 3 more stalkers warping in. And this group just hanging out the Xel'Naga. Going to be quickly alerted of anything that's happening. MrGoomba going for an attack. I don't think he realizes. He doesn't. He hasn't scouted that yet. He doesn't quite know. I don't think he was in Tribute's vision, however. I do not believe that he saw that. This zealot going to join the party. That's not going to be much of a party as they realize nobody's there. This zealot's going to move across, but these stalkers are having none of that. This sentry is going to back up. This stalker going to get picked off. A little bit of miss micro. In that instance, we do have some force fields going down. MrGoomba's backing out of that. I don't know if this Immortal can deal with that many stalkers. We do have Warp Gate now completing for MrGoomba, and a Stargate as well. Focusing down that Immortal, exactly what they need to do. These stalkers hanging right outside the main. They are going to contain him in here. We do have another sentry going down for MrGoomba to force field that ramp if need be. And we have a Warp Prism out as well, and a Void Ray. Probe on his way over, probably to set up some kind of proxy. An Observer on the way for Tribute, so he can see exactly what's going on. Pylon going down for Tribute at the Xel'Naga. However, I believe this is more for center map control than anything else, as Pylons cannot hold the Xel'Naga. It's okay, I still think of you as a person, Pylon. Even if that Xel'Naga does not. We do have a Pylon going down where MrGoomba's natural would be. We do have this Immortal out front, exactly where it needs to be. 2 sentries, 3 sentries backing this up. A couple of force fields down, and they should be just fine. We do have this Observer who's going to make his way over and reveal to Tribute that there is in fact some airplay. We do have a Stargate and 1 Void out. Feels as though he should probably attack now before he can mass those Void Rays up. Second 3 sentries down for Tribute. What an intense day. This is like the DMZ in Korea right now. This whole area is like the DMZ. They are going to come down. We are going to get a force field. Are we going to get a force field? Are we going to get a force field? We do get a force field. A little bit too late, I feel, though. As these units have already done their damage. This Immortal going to town on these units. These Zealots hacking away at the Stalkers, trying to kite them. But these Void Rays are just dealing with this and dealing with this and dealing with it. We do have another Void Ray out. He is going to snipe these Stalkers. They are not going to get away today. They are going to meet Tassadar in the afterlife. This proxy going down. MrGoomba warping in a couple more Stalkers. He did have a Warp Prism down here. It's getting chased away by Tribute. We do have a Zealot getting warped in for MrGoomba. He is going to be going after this single probe. Is he going to take it out? You should have finished that probe. You need to fly that away, as the Zealot does quite a bit of damage to the Zealot. To the Stalker, I mean. But not quite enough. Tribute is going to see what is heading his way. Quite a decent sized force from MrGoomba, including 3 Void Rays and a 4th on the way, along with another Immortal. He is pulling the Observer back to see what's going on. He is going to do a little bit of damage from this high ground, but I don't see him going down there. It's probably not a good position for him to be in. Going to make short work of this Pylon, as well as short work of this Nexus, with his own proxy going down. MrGoomba being on the aggressive now. We do have another Void making its way across the field. 2 Immortals firing at each other, proving who more of the Immortal is. We do have a force field going down, splitting this army in 2. Exactly what he needs to do. He should probably walk this army right back and leave him right at the edge so he at least can do a little bit of damage to the units up here. We do have the 4 Void Rays up here doing so much damage, but they are being micro correctly. This Immortal just going to town on these Stalkers, doing so much damage. Plus 50 versus armor. And Tribute has lost everything he has. He has 2 Stalkers warping in. I don't see them dealing with all of this. He is going to leave the game. That is his answer to this combination. Even a robotics pay down, but just not Colossus. Not a good idea to go up against Voids. MrGoomba throwing down his own expansion, not going to be necessary. No GG today. A little bit upset. All these probes and no expansion. Tribute has lost this game. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a 1v1. MrGoomba and Tribute. I'm Rich Ganja. I hope you enjoyed it.